The Los Angeles Dodgers have just made a sneaky trade, and the implications behind it might be more deep than you are thinking, as the Dodgers are planning something even bigger than what this trade means. We talk about the trade and all the details behind it, why this move was made, all right here on Dodgers Digest. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you hanging out with us and tuning in to today's show. And I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button for videos just like this. Whether the move is big, small, in between, doesn't matter. We're going to cover it here on Dodgers Digest. And there are 85% of you who watch these videos but are not yet subscribed. I promise you it'll be the best decision you make by hitting that subscribe button and being able to be in the know about all things Los Angeles Dodgers. The baseball offseason is an intriguing one for so many different pieces because there's the Rule 5 draft, there's the changing of the 40-man rosters, and trying to figure out what is the best situation for your team moving forward. Well, yesterday we kind of saw a caveat of that as the Dodgers made an intriguing trade that probably has a little bit of a bigger impact than what you're probably thinking. The Mariners here tweeting out the official trade. We've acquired left-handed pitcher Robertson Ortiz from the Dodgers in exchange for minor league right-handed pitcher Tyler Gao. Now, Robertson Ortiz was just added to the 40-man roster for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and immediately the Dodgers ship him off. Now, they added him to the roster because otherwise he would have basically become a free agent. There was a whole different thing. They basically had to protect him by adding him to the 40-man roster. Let's start with there. However, there probably is even more kind of news behind them. We continue on here with Eric Stephen of True Blue LA saying, quote, Robertson Ortiz, the left-handed pitcher who was just added to the 40-man roster on November 6th, just 10 days later, was traded by the Dodgers to the Mariners for minor league pitcher Tyler Gao. Continues on to say Ortiz and slugger Ryan Ward were set to be minor league free agents had they not been added to the 40-man roster on November 6th. So instead of Ortiz leaving for nothing, the Dodgers got another minor league pitcher out of the move eventually, end quote. This is part of the situation that you have to look at with these baseball trades, is that in this aspect, they were going to lose Ortiz for nothing. They knew that that was going to happen. They knew that there was going to be teams that liked him. And so what they did, added him to the 40-man roster, immediately shopped him around, immediately was saying, hey, does anybody want to come in here and acquire this guy? The Mariners called right up. You were able to get a minor league pitcher out of it. Now, this does kind of add on to more things because as of right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers roster at 40 people is at 38. There's a Rule 5 draft coming up. There's a lot of moving parts, and Andrew Friedman is setting up to have that Rule 5 draft have an actual legitimate player with it. They have a couple of guys they really would like to add in that Rule 5 draft, and we'll kind of talk about that here in the show. As we continue on here, Eric Stephen again of True Blue LA saying, quote, after Ortiz getting dealt plus last week's waiver claim of Ben Roedvert by the Reds, the Dodgers have 38 players on the 40-man roster. Those two vacant spots might only be temporary, though, as Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time is the deadline for teams to set reserve lists in preparation for the Rule 5 draft in December, end quote. I'm not going to go into the whole details about the Rule 5 draft just because I'd be sitting here trying to tell you about it for an hour, and even then it wouldn't make sense. Basically what this means, though, is the Dodgers have to have a set list of players they would like / situations they would have for that Rule 5 draft, which will then actually occur in December, and you'll be awarded players basically in the Rule 5 draft. So put it that way, that they have to have spots available to then ask for certain players in the Rule 5 draft, and that's exactly why maybe this move was made. Because Robertson Ortiz, I mean, he was actually a pretty dang good prospect. At 25 years old, had a 5-2 record this past year in the minor leagues with a 2.73 earned run average, 48 games. He did start in one, had 4 saves and 59.1 innings pitched. Very good whip. All the things you were looking at here saying, okay, this guy's a pretty good pitcher. Like, why would they get rid of him? Well, it really goes back to the Reds claiming Ben Roedvert off the waivers, getting him and basically taking him away from the Los Angeles Dodgers. So in that 40-man roster, you now have 2 guys off that list, meaning you have 2 roster spots open and can fill it out. Now, what about the guy they added? Who is this Tyler Gao guy? Well, let's start by saying this. He has a 2024 pitching line, and I'll tell you why that is in just a second, of 7-4 with a 4.33 earned run average. And in 23 games, he started 23 times, 95 innings pitched, 99 strikeouts, and a 1.41 whip. Why, however, was he pitching his last season in 2024? Well, we have the answer for you right here. Eric Steven of True Blue LA once again saying, the 6'2 right-hander did not pitch in 2025 after undergoing Tommy John surgery after the 2024 season, end quote. Obviously, this move was not made to go out and get Tyler Gao. It was not, the Dodgers wanted to have Tyler Gao. That guy had to be on the roster. No. That's not how this move was made. It's for that Rule 5 draft and trying to add additional places. Now, I do want to look at him because, in theory, like I mentioned, Ortiz was going to be basically a free agent in the minor league system. We obviously know that people like him because he got a trade to the Mariners. He would have been picked up relatively quickly. So the Dodgers, instead of losing him for free, got Tyler Gao out of it. Now, he's 21 years old at 6'2", 205. He can actually bat switch-handed, which is pretty funny for a pitcher. But in terms of his grades for the present and future, his fastball grade's got a 45, 50 grade in the future, 45 grade on the slider, 55 grade in the future. Changeup is going to be his best pitch, 55 grade for now, 60 grade in the future. His command, 30 right now, 40 in the future. He sits at about 90 to 93. He can top out at 94 miles per hour with the pitching arsenal. Gao is a good player to have. I don't know what he's going to mean for the future in a lot of aspects, but again, this goes back to Andrew Friedman and Dave Robertson in a lot of way, wanting to have a certain player in the Rule 5 draft. Now, we've seen basically a bunch of statements saying, well, they want this guy in the Rule 5 draft, or they want this guy in the Rule 5 draft. Well, that's all now kind of starting to come into place, and that's why this move was made, because Ortiz had to be on the 40-man roster. So by him being traded, you get him off the 40-man roster. Tyler Gao does not have to be on the 40-man roster. You, in theory, after getting Ben Rodford taken away, just opened up 2 spots so that in that Rule 5 draft, there are guys that you want to have. They can go out and put in claims in some ways. Obviously, you put out your list in the Rule 5 draft and are able to successfully or unsuccessfully acquire that player. But is intriguing to me that they didn't want to go out with Robertson Ortiz. I actually liked what he had in his command and his stuff. I think for the Dodgers, though, in terms of bullpen arms, which is what Robertson would have been, they need more right-handers than lefties. That's really what they need to have. And Ortiz is a lefty who has decent stats in the minor leagues, but at the end of the day, was he really going to offer you much in the majors? I don't know. But again, this move is more privy to future plans, to future moves, to things the Dodgers want to do down the line rather than this trade exactly. So we can look out, we can look at Ortiz and say whatever, we can look at Tyler Gao and say whatever, but what really will make this move complete is what the Dodgers get in the Rule 5 draft, / what they put in for, and that's going to be a major question mark. So we'll keep you updated as to when we get that Rule 5 list, what exactly the hope is for them to go out and acquire. But as of right now, that's all we got for you here on Dodgers Digest. We appreciate you watching, hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time here on the show. Peace out, guys.